Hey, this is Cindy. Well, we're talking about unforgiveness. Yesterday, we talked about forgiveness being a choice. Yes, forgiveness is a choice. And most of the time that we experience unforgiveness is because we have unmet expectations from the other individual, no matter who it is. You don't have to be in a love relationship with this person. It could be a sibling, it could be a mom, a dad, anybody in your family, anybody in your circle, a coworker. There's an unmet expectation somewhere. And so you have unforgiveness. So now you can decide to make the choice to forgive. There's four stages to forgiving, and the first one would be disdain. And the disdain meaning like you're just really not liking that person, you're really upset by what they've done. And then the second stage goes into hurt. Now you're hurt. Not only are you angry, but now you're hurt. Your feelings are hurt. You don't understand. You have so many questions. You're like, I thought we were better than this. I thought all of that kind of thing. But then after you go through the hurt, there it's time for healing. You can't stay in the hurt. If you stay in the hurt, again, like I said yesterday, you stop living. You it's over, okay? So you have to heal, and you have to make the choice to heal. And then stage four is coming together. And what that looks like for each individual is just like that. Each individual. It doesn't mean necessarily coming together with that person. I was asked the question, how do you forgive when someone is still having the same behaviors? Well, there is a way to do that. And the first way to do that is first, again, understand, are your expectations too broad for that individual? Can they even meet the expectations you've set for them? Because we set our own expectations for individuals that perhaps they can't meet. And if that person can meet that expectation and they just decide they don't want to meet that expectation, then you at that point set your boundaries. You erect your boundaries and say, you know what? I'm going to forgive this person. I'm going to release this person. And you have to erect your boundaries and understand your value and your worth, and that there are people out there that will meet your expectation. There are family members that will love you for who you are and not have these different expectations of you, because forgiveness, again, does not mean you're forgetting what happened. No, you don't have to forget what happened, but you do have to come to terms with what happened. And sometimes coming to terms with that, meaning understand what that looks like through the lenses of the other person. The conundrum is, how do I get that understanding without necessarily wanting to reach out to the individual? Well, you don't have to reach out to the individual. You can, settle that in your mind. Get educated on what some people act like with certain behaviors. You know what I mean? And understand if that expectation is just too much for that individual. When you allow bitterness and unforgiveness seriously to root inside of you, it doesn't just stay in that space. It will take over your life. I keep reiterating this because unforgiveness has literally destroyed people. It's destroyed people who could have otherwise been very happy, but have chosen to stay in that state of unforgiveness. Is it that serious? And if it is that serious, is it serious enough to cause you to stop living? What is your value? What is your life worth? Releasing the other person will help release you. And if the other person is still acting the same way, doing the same behaviors, erect your boundaries and stand on them. You don't have to be buddy, buddy, buddy with the person. You don't have to talk to them every day. You can just, when you see them, if you see them, say hello. There's nothing wrong with saying hello. If you have pain and issues when you see that person, you know true forgiveness has not taken place.